Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is set to significantly expand the story of Peter Parker and Miles Morales. After undoing Mr. Negative's plans and facing off against his former boss, Dr. Otto Octavius, we're dealing with a more experienced hero than the beginning of Marvel's Spider-Man in 2018. Marvel's Spider-Man. Miles Morales also did very well in portraying a young, inexperienced, and loving character, and continued the story of Miles Morales from the original game. The two are set to face a new threat in the form of Venom and Kraven the Hunter in the 2023 sequel. But there's room for more surprises. Insomniac Games started the new decade strongly, and by the end of 2023, 2 Spider-Man games and 1 Ratchet and Clank games will be in record for the last decade. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 will be the studio's next game, but perhaps the studio's most anticipated project is Wolverine. Given the presence of both our Marvel characters and the company's history, it's unlikely that Logan will be in the next Spider-Man adventure. We think there are several interesting ways to add him to the story of Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 is already in the middle of a difficult time, and will have to put its 2 superheroes and a threat called Venom in a compelling story. On the other hand, given the success of the first game and the Miles Morales side story, expectations are high. There's always the possibility that the story will have an overcrowded feel effect by introducing too many characters, so you have to make sure that the main narrative doesn't get damaged by adding new characters. Kingpin's presence in Spider-Man 2018 was enough for a few scenes to make him part of the game's universe, but it never became a big factor in the story and didn't overwhelm the narrative. Wolverine could play the same role in Spider-Man 2. A post-titular sequence would be a logical option, but given Insomniac Games' introduction of Marvel's Wolverine, it's not going to be as effective as the MCU scenarios. Logan's presence as part of a story or other obstacle that Spider-Man has to overcome will certainly be more exciting. Wolverine is not a character that needs more introduction. In fact, Logan's presence could be enough to create a bridge between Spider-Man and Wolverine. Wolverine constantly walks the line between doing evil and heroic intentions. This is definitely one of the most fascinating elements about his personality. If Insomniac's Spider-Man hasn't yet encountered Logan, Peter must be hesitant to befriend him on their first date. Adding Wolverine as a gray character or relative villain can be considered a good way to develop him into a unique storyline. Like Miles Morales before him, we can learn a bit more about Wolverine's character and his behavior in a Spider-Man game. However, given that Logan isn't as friendly as Miles, it's more natural to present him as a hostile force. Venom and Kraven the Hunter can take up a lot of space in Marvel's Spider-Man 2, but since Wolverine and Kraven were previously pitted in 2022's X-Force number 30, we now have a history between them. The two characters are similar in some ways, so using Kraven as a conduit to introduce Wolverine could be helpful. Of course, there is no reason for Wolverine to appear in Marvel's Spider-Man 2, and it's possible that we won't see him at all. But given Insomniac's work on both stories, we can hope to see him.